Hey, everybody. I am trying something new. I have been thinking for a little bit about how the only people who have coaching as a line item in their budget are the people who have already had a coach. And if you don't know me, my name's Melissa Parsons. I am a general life coach for women who want to become their favorite versions of themselves. So I just had my business mastermind and got so many amazing ideas from my fellow coaches about how to get the word out about what coaching is and how we help people or how I help people. Um, and with my clients' permission this week, they're all very excited. I told them that I was going to be sharing after I got off my calls with them the amazingness that we were able to work through, and I said, "Only you will know that I'm talking about you, so if you think this is you, it's you." Um, and and just this week, I've already had so many amazing, revelations with my clients, or they've had so many revelations with working with me. So, the first one that I'm gonna share is my client who said that she wanted to work on being able to rest and to play. And she, like many of us in the United States, although she does not live in the United States and never has, uh, have been told for whatever reason that it is not safe to rest and play and that it's a waste of time and that type of thing. So I asked her, I was like, if she was willing to ask her body to go into her body and ask for help with this. And she said, sure, she's willing to try anything. And in my coaching practice, I don't ask my clients to do anything that I wouldn't do myself. So this is work that I have done on myself too. So I asked her, okay, can you tell me, who gave you this message that it's not safe or that you should never rest? And she said it was her dad, and she said she immediately got teary and said that he got sick eventually because he never took the time to rest, and she didn't want that for herself. And she said anytime that she intends to rest and takes time off of work and on the weekends and in the evenings and that type of thing with her partner, when she's trying to rest, she gets really restless. And so I said, "Okay, let's go in, let's ask your body." And I said, "Can you remember the first time you were told that it wasn't safe to rest?" And she said, "Yes." Immediately it came to her that it was when she was a young teen and she was sleeping, very late into the day as all teenagers do. And well, not all, many teenagers do. And her dad came into her room and was chastising her, saying, "We have things to do. You cannot sleep all day. It's a waste of time." And then I asked her, "Okay, do you remember? Can you go back to your early teenage bedroom? Can you go back to that feeling of laying in bed, being cozy under your covers, under your comforter, under your blankets? And can you remember how that made you feel when your dad came in?" And she said, "I felt angry." And I said, "Okay, let's go there." I was like, "Where, when you're feeling angry, where do you feel it in your body?" And she said, "Oh, I can feel the feeling right now." And she said, "It's in my chest and it's still." I asked her all these questions. She said it was still, it was heavy, it was hard for her to breathe. It felt slow, it felt hot in her chest, and it was a dark gray feeling. So I asked her, I said, "Okay, can you pretend like you can talk to that feeling in your body and ask it, why are you here for me?" And she said, "Oh," she said, "Yeah, it says, I need to push you. I need you to do your stuff. You have to do this. You have to do that." She said, "It really was kind of to make me feel bad and to make me get out of bed." And she, on her own, said, "I have compassion for that feeling now. That feeling actually needs some protection, maybe. It feels insecure." Um, and I said, "Okay." I was like, tell me, what do you want to tell this feeling? If you have compassion for it and you want to protect it, what do you want to tell it instead? And she said, I want to tell it it's okay. Everything's fine. We've got this. We'll figure this out. There's no danger. And I said, okay, knowing what you know now, what would you go back and tell your 13-year-old self? And she said, oh, I would say that my dad was trying to, you know, he had a good intention. I just didn't understand it. And she said, but now in this instance, I don't really need this feeling anymore because I have, I'm 30 some years old and I actually have discipline and I can work in my business with lightness and without heaviness. And I said, okay, um, what does 14-year-old Sandra want this feeling to know? And Or I'm sorry, I said, "What does 14-year-old Sandra want us to know now as your adult self? Like, what wisdom does your 14-year-old self have for you now?" And she couldn't come up with anything, and I said, "Okay, maybe she wants to say, 'I'm so proud of us for doing this.'" And she was like, "Oh, yes, 100%." She's like, and then she got going. She's like, "You've gone through so much. You've had so many experiences. You have a beautiful life now. You can take it easy. You can chill." And then she said, "Chill the fuck out." And we both started laughing. And then we went to, okay, when you're, not working in your business and your body is telling you that you need to be stressed and get to work and that type of thing, when you're intentionally trying to rest, how would you like your body to feel instead? And she said, "Oh, I want to be able to relieve this pressure and this heaviness." And she said, "I can actually see it right now." She's like, "In my body, it feels light and there's transparency. There's no shadow anymore." She said, "It's clear instead of that dark gray." She's like, "It's kind of like the cloud lifted and it's no longer there. There's a clear sky." And she said, "I feel free. I can relax. I don't have any obligations." And she said, "My boyfriend's going to love this." She said, "Because when we're trying to relax in the evening or we're out on a Friday night and I'm not working, um, she's like, I'll be having fun. And then all of a sudden I'll get this feeling like I need to get back to work or I shouldn't be resting. I shouldn't be having this much fun. I have work to do." She said, "I'll start feeling terrible. And all of a sudden my boyfriend will say, 'What the hell happened? You were just fine.'" And she said, "My mood suddenly changes. And normally I just say, I just want to go home," basically, so she can get back to work. And I said, "Oh, perfect." I said, "So this feeling's going to keep coming up now that we're talking about it for the next couple weeks. It's going to keep coming back to you. And when it does, I want you to acknowledge the feeling. It's there to protect you, remember, and it also needs some protection. So what do we want to tell this feeling instead?" And she said, "I want to tell it, we know what we need to do tomorrow. I'm done with work for today." She said, "Actually, at the end of my workday, I want to talk to this feeling and say, 'Hey, let's celebrate everything that we actually did get accomplished today.'" And she said, "I've got you, little cloud." And she said, "I will listen to you at the end of the day. I'll write down what you're telling me that we need to do tomorrow. And then I'll listen to you again tomorrow. At the beginning of the day, I'm going to bring this cloudy feeling up and ask it what it wants me to know, and then listen to it and write that all down." And she said, "I actually want to befriend this feeling and partner with it." She said, "I realized just in this moment I was working against it and resisting it, and that I don't need to do this anymore." So it was such a powerful session. And if I can teach women how to rest and relax and enjoy the amazingness of their life in their job and outside of it, then my work here is done. So if this sounds intriguing to you, if you're like, I need that, please go to my website, melissaparsonscoaching.com. Get on my email list. I'll send you valuable emails. Follow me on Facebook, Melissa Parsons Coaching. Follow me on Instagram, Coach Melissa Parsons MD. You can find me on YouTube. That's Melissa Parsons is my YouTube channel. So I will be seeing you all soon.